Alright everyone, here we go. I'm just getting the export together. And yeah. Give me 1 second on that. I got check for lineups. And we will get this show on the road. I think it might just be me here today. Yeah, maybe Thick says something. We'll see. But unless he sees something, unless he's commenting, I'll just do the live YouTube. All right. Of course, you guys know I'm gonna represent our 2043 ABA champions, the Cardiff Dragons. But in the East, we got the. Can't believe I'm saying this. The Charlotte Bobcats. Yeah, it's a bit strange, ain't it? And then the Western Conference, of course, we got the Tijuana Piranhas. Maybe Kyle Lowry will make that happen in 20 years. We will see. Alright, I got a few lineups. Alright. So, first lineup I have to do is Charlotte. Let me know if you guys can see this okay. Does it come through okay on your end? Alright. 1 second. I can't. 1 moment. Just mute myself real quick. I don't know how to do that. Yep, and that's what happens when you're live streaming. You just randomly get people to walk in. So, yeah, that's a first. But yeah, I will set Charlotte's lineup. And then we'll move on to the next team. Alright. So Charlotte, Tyrell, and Reed are down. 8-0. I really don't know why they brought Reed in. It's a rough contract too. And then Bryant, Big and Chunky, and Lim. Yeah, they're all good there. I can't imagine they'd change Cooper out of 6-man, but nope, they did. TJ is 6-man. It's kind of weird, but hey, whatever pays the bills, I guess. Alright, next team up here is Kentucky. They don't have a chance at making the finals, but hey, if they want to go try hard in the playoffs, that is A-okay with me. Penguino's a pretty good GM, so we'll see how that goes. He wants to start Johnson, Patuli. What? This is so weird. With Schrute. Huh? I am so confused in this lineup. He's going to start Billy Bogues Sr. He's not going to play Neptune at all. I think he's in. I'm not going to say it. But this might be the worst lineup I've ever seen somebody deliberately play. Cam Pine should be third. That's fine. That at least makes sense. I don't know what's going on here. I have no idea. Alright. To the next team. Hopefully they have a... The comment with his lineup was, Stars got big heads, so we gotta bench them. I think this is Vancouver. Vancouver attempted a cat-based super team, and it went about as good as the Brooklyn Nets super team. So they got BB Kinney, Karen, and Dowling starting. That makes sense. I like Dowling, but He's getting old quickly. Vontae and Wolfenbarger. That makes sense as well. And then sixth man is DeRochers and Walker. Dude, Walker with a pretty good prog. That's good. And then Bora, Mac, Travis, Brandon Graham, Marv, and Sadler. All with 0. Or with minus. I don't think I saw Bennett there. Mac, Travis, Graham, Marv. Yeah, all these guys. We'll see if the Stars can carry them, but yeah, I think Bennett was staying the same, right? Yeah, alright. Snohomish wants to replace Manning with Sargoul, so they will successfully have no point guard in their starting lineup. Alright. Slenderman with the plus, and remove all. Did you say remove all zeros? Yeah, remove all zeros. And then Slenderman gets a plus here. Dude played 8 games, so that plus is probably playing. Belgrade wants to. Alright, so Belgrade wants to min the last 3 players on their lineup. Guy played 1 game. Yeah. Dude, minning a cap. That's rough. Alright. I think I got Montreal next. So, Montreal. And we got one more after this. It's Tijuana. Higgins, Lane, Petty, Ferguson, Gasol. With Harden all the way at the bottom. Oh, Harden got hurt. That's why. We're up. I think Petty was here. Ferguson, Gasol. Hooks, Taylor, right? Yeah. He doesn't say anything about those two, so I imagine they're playing still 1+, but we'll probably find out. Oh, reset PT for Miller. Alright, I got that. Alright. And Tijuana wants to auto. Alright. Gentlemen, ladies, are you ready? Let's do this. Guys, if you're hyped in the comments section, leave some hype here, and we will get this show underway. Game 1 sim, here we go, and we are underway. So Milwaukee beats Kentucky. Not surprised. Kentucky's lineup is horrible. Montreal beats Philly. No surprise. Syracuse beats New York in a blowout. Wow. Was there an injury involved? Yeah, Mark Alexander and Vortex got hurt. Alexander will miss more time. I probably need to zoom this in because it's probably super small. I got this, guys. There we go. But yeah, the Nets might actually lose the series to Syracuse here. Yeah, they're in a rough spot. All right, so Carolina beats Chicago, no surprise. San Diego beats Anaheim, also not a surprise. Bosnia beats LAD, Belgrade and Snohomish, all as expected. Here we go, Game 2, going right into it. All right, so we got a few interesting things here. Western Conference, all the favorites win. Snohomish wins, Belgrade wins, Bosnia wins, San Diego wins. What Eastern Conference, we got a win by Kentucky. A little bit of a shocker there with that horrible lineup. Tatuli with 19 points. Meanwhile, off the bench, Campine double-doubles. That's kind of impressive to come off the bench and double-double. Now, we will take a look at... So Montreal won, and Syracuse now holds a 2-0 lead. They only won by 3 points. This time it was a really solid game just from their team. They had 6 players in double digits, including 2 off the bench. Fabian McKnight played really well. He's actually somebody that consistently puts up pretty low stats. They also had 2 guys with double-doubles in counting rebounds, and Spider had 3 steal game. Meanwhile, on the Nets, without Mark Alexander, they had to rely on Vortex. He did 8 and 7, and then had foul issues. Meanwhile, their star was Winston Silva, who put up 20 points, but this team is clearly not in as good position without Alexander. We'll see how they do with him coming back. Next up here, let's take a look at the other games. Of course, we got Carolina winning, and actually that's it. So, yeah, fairly mundane so far. One more game, let's do it. All right, so we'll do lineup checks here, or we'll do team checks. Melbourne picks up the victory. We've seen a significant decline from McGillen, but this is like a battle between old and new, right? Isaac Parks, 23, 15, 4, 4, 2. Dude fills the stat sheet, right? And he put us on a show. McGillen not really putting on that much of a show. 2014, 4, 6, and 1. Down from normal McGillen numbers, but the team around him is actually playing pretty well. And they were able to pick up the victory there over Snohomish. Meanwhile, we'll take a look at the Belgrade Series. Belgrade now has won 3 straight. It doesn't look like there's... actually, Denleal's out for Belgrade, and he'll miss early next series. But yeah, Belgrade's still winning pretty hard here. Vontae Jackson is also out. So we actually got a series that's kind of affected by injuries, but I'd have to say, if you have KGB versus Vontae, one's a superstar, the other's a borderline role player. So we'll take a look right now. Going back out, taking a look here. LAD picks up the upset after going down by 2. Bosnia with no major injuries here. Brennan Morgan not able to put up much stats, and just a quality all-around team. Meanwhile, LAD loses Stokes for the rest of the series, loses Stewart for the rest of the series, and they pick up the win on the back of Light 2 and Jordan Fajminison. Oh, and Gasol's on LA, which is pretty cool. So, yeah. Without Stokes, I feel like Los Angeles is pretty much not going to win. So Anaheim beats San Diego, which is a pretty big surprise here. Price put up a 25-14 game, but he had 7 turnovers, which is ridiculous. Meanwhile, Sabonis with 14 and 15, and continues to be one of the better players in the league. Hughes with 18 and 8. And when we look at Anaheim here, they lost Evan Hart, and that's a pretty big blow to their team, but I think they'll still probably win the series. Kyle Katarin with his 10-15, and Smart with 21, 5, and 4. Both great lines. Icon, 29 points. The dude's a natural scorer. We'll take a real quick look at Icon's season here. He put up 14-4 this season, and on his career, he's always been a pretty solid scorer, and continues to do that for them. So, next up, we'll take a look in the Eastern Conference. Kentucky with their 2nd straight upset. Now I'm getting a little concerned here, right? So Al Bennett's still out for the Hawks, though he suffered that major injury. Derek Felt with a big game, but supreme as he hits free agency is kind of not doing much in this series. Adam McGillen also showing signs of age, a 10-10 game. Meanwhile, we look at his brother David, who's putting up a 20-10 game, or 20-15 almost. J.D. Bell with 27 points, 6 assists, 4 rebounds. J.D. Bell really popped off in this one. Billy Bogues played 6.1 minutes. Cam Pine even struggled, but the guy that really carried him was J.D. Bell. Yo.
I want you to zoom out.
Yo, we got Ainsley joining. You want me to zoom out? Are you sure? That's going to make it quite small, dude. Let me see what the YouTube comments say. Oh, I see. You guys aren't able to see the whole... One second. Let me see how that is. Alright, I'm going to make an adjustment here. Sorry about that, guys. Apparently, my OBS is acting up, so I'm going to just make this change really quick. Here we go. And then if I format this right here. Yo, try that. See if that works, alright? I'm going to just minimize myself. Alright, there we go into the corner. Tell me how that looks, guys. Alright? And let me know if that works. Alright. So, next up, oh, it looks like I have a lineup request change. Alright, yep. Is it better now? Looks like people were quite frustrated. All right, so we are past Anaheim. We're at Kentucky here. Philadelphia picks up a surprising win over Montreal. It was a pretty close game. JP Lane with 23-6-3 with 2-2, and I went back to the wrong game. Of course, we want to look here at Philly's surprising upset. Harden's still out. Godric with a 14-point game, but the guy that really came in clutch for them, 26 points from Alex Moore. And as a whole, Philly doesn't really got a chance, but we'll see. All right. Next, we'll take a look at New York's first win against Syracuse. Alexander comes back, and he roars back. 38-3-2-5-3. A huge offensive and defensive effort. And Spider just kind of got exposed. Supposedly one of the better defenders in the league. Meanwhile, Akeem Wood with a 20-20 game. He actually might have been one of the top 10 rebounding performances. Maybe. I don't know. I'll have to check on that later. Yeah. All right. Next up, we got Chicago also with an upset here. This is actually kind of getting into an exciting round. Jack James just 7 points. All right, that's why. Cardiac and Umberto both hit 20, and now we got some sizable Boston Jr. is a starting caliber forward, and Awak Kondu, who is starting for them at power forward. Meanwhile, look at Chicago, and they do have Kellogg out, so this series is definitely affected by injuries here. It's hard to say that Chicago is in the better spot because their third best player is out, but 2 starting caliber players are out for Carolina, so this series has really been affected here. With that, we will go to Game 4. Boom. All right, so first up, Snohomish does beat Melbourne. Now they have a sizable lead on the series. The McGillen era may be over. Belgrade does advance, so Belgrade's the first team to secure an advance here. They will not have Denley for several games. Meanwhile, no serious injuries to Vancouver. However, their team continues to add the years on rapidly. We'll take a look at... Bosnia did beat LAD. No need to go into that. And San Diego beat Anaheim. Kentucky lost to Milwaukee. This has really become a back-and-forth series. Felt had a great all-around game. And... that's really the only thing of note here. Felt had a pretty big game, and everyone else just kind of did their thing. Philly has now won 2 straight over Montreal, and this one was a pretty big fashion. Mazen Higgins went out, and Godric went off. 26 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and they got a 20-13 performance from Moore. Clifford Robinson, 36-12, cementing himself as a quality player. And Philly's in a pretty good spot now. The Nets have now won 2 straight, and Carolina picks up a win over Chicago. With that, we will go to one more game here. We are getting real close to... we have a ton of series that ended in the West. All right, Snohomish advances. They beat Melbourne, sizable margin here. McGillen with a 31-17-5. You guys got to wonder, right? McGillen is 36. This team is probably not a contender anymore, and probably won't be in the McGillen era. There's a legitimate possibility he retires. We've never said that before. But David McGillen could retire. That would just be a massive blow to Snohomish. So next up here, Belgrade already know it's advancing. Bosnia advances. Of course, LAD lost 2 starters, so that's no surprise. I guess that's what happens when you lose 2 starters. It doesn't really matter if your team plays great like they did. San Diego also advances. I feel like that was a kind of boring series. Marcus Smart with 16 points in that game. But injury to Hart was pretty sizable, and San Diego's a pretty deep team, though they will have some cap issues. King Price with those 6 steals, pretty impressive. Meanwhile, we take a look in the Eastern Conference here. Kentucky does pick up a victory. This is also, I just want to note, first time in ABA history that Adam McGillen has lasted longer in the playoffs than David when they both make the playoffs. That's kind of nuts. We have entered the Adam McGillen era, so to speak, even though Adam McGillen's not anywhere close to as good. this is going to be a really interesting series. I'm kind of shocked. Campaign 29 off the bench and O'Grady 24-12. Their weird lineup is somehow working against Milwaukee. Montreal is now up 3-2 over Philadelphia, and Syracuse has now lost 3 straight to New York with Mark Alexander back. Chicago does pick another upset win over Carolina, which is kind of shocking, but that's what happens when Kellogg comes back. Granted, he played miserably for them. Peter Hill was able to go off for 41, and we got an array of injuries here. Carolina decimated. Chicago might be able to come back thanks to this decimation. Yeah, we'll see. We'll go Game 6, and then we'll see what we're live simming. Alright, we're going to have some Game 7s, guys. Unless I didn't sim properly. Western Conference already set in. Eastern Conference, Game 7 between Milwaukee. We actually have, this is pretty cool. So we have 2 Game 7s in the East here. So Milwaukee picks up the victory over Kentucky, and the weird Kentucky lineup versus the underperforming, I want to say. I mean, you almost got a triple-double from Dwayne Brown. Is that underperforming? I don't think so. And, of course, you got the Philadelphia team that everyone wants this Philly team to go far, right? They could knock out Montreal here, and it would be one of the biggest upsets in recent memory. Gasol goes for 34-21, and Clifford Robinson and Alex Moore do their thing. Yeah. Yo, shoot.
When on the next series, when Denver plays, give Crotch 0 minutes.
Okay. Will do. Alright, guys. Live sim time. Personally, I got Milwaukee winning this. Milwaukee has a commanding lead entering the fourth quarter. Oh my god, it's a blowout. Oh. Yeah. A 40-point blowout. Yeah. That's rough. Alright. Milwaukee advances. And here we go with Montreal versus Philly of all teams. Philly leads after 1. Philly leads after 2. Philly leads after 3. And Montreal leads halfway through the fourth quarter. With 3 minutes left, Montreal is up 6. Now they're up 9. 20 seconds left, and it's a 6-point game. Montreal turns it over. More mid-range. They need it. They score down 4 points. 15 seconds left. Gasol turns it over. And Will Murphy for 3 misses. Gasol, the defensive rebound. That's the game. Yeah, more attempts to 3, and he misses. Damn, that was a close effort, but no cigar there. And our matchups here are Tijuana versus Snohomish, Cardiff versus Belgrade. I don't actually think there's a single upset, which is really disappointing for a couple Game 6s and Game 7s. So with that, Denver had a lineup change. They wanted to bench somebody. Give me a second. Boom. Denver's lineup, and at the bottom here, league playoffs. Alright. Let's see if there's any other lineup changes. Oh. Alright. Game 1. Tijuana beats Snohomish. Cardiff beats Belgrade. Bosnia beats Denver. And Seattle beats San Diego. We're going to take a look at that Bosnia game here. Wow, it is a blowout, too. That is shocking. Morgan and Ritter. Interesting. And 3 guys off the bench, including Mike Scott, who had 19 and 10. And for Denver, Nando disappears, Light disappears, and Hawkins disappears. Hawkins, 0 points in 29 minutes. Well, that is one of the worst stat lines I've ever seen. 29 minutes, 0 points, and 1 assist, 5 rebounds, 2 steals, and a block. That is pitiful. To play an entire game and put up that is unacceptable from one of the best players defensively in league history. Seattle picks up the win. Charlotte the win. Montreal who struggled in the first round, pick up a win over a pretty good Miami team without one of their better players. But granted, DJ Williams got hurt and will miss the next chunk of the series. All right, Miami's toast. They just lost a guy in the MVP race. New York beats Detroit. That's actually low-key shocking here. 3-point victory. Mark Alexander with 24 points. And you take a look at Detroit. Rudolph. This is kind of interesting. Rudolph's in a revenge series here, right? Or I guess technically the Nets are the wronged party here. And we saw E.J. Peterson have a great game, but Rudolph just not really offensively producing here. So real quickly, I will swing over to Game 2. I'm just going to note Cincinnati beat Carolina. And with that, we will swing on over to Game 2. Boom. All right. Tijuana extends their lead to 2 games. Cardiff does the same. Denver picks up a win against Bosnia, no surprise. Seattle beats San Diego again. Charlotte beats Milwaukee. Montreal with now 2 straight upsets. Granted, we know DJ Williams, he's out. And, without DJ Williams, this is not really a series. Ben Wallace, though, with 15, 23, 3-2. Ben Wallace is just an absolute monster on the board. So you're really curious how many rebounds he averaged this season. Only 14. But, yeah, he is... he's going to be an absolute beast on the boards, especially as he gets more into his prime. So Detroit picks up the victory, not really surprised, and since he leads by 2, Game 3, boom. All right, Brandon Guillen goes down for Cardiff. Oh no. So now we'll take a look at here. Snohomish with an upset over Tijuana. Wally Craig goes off for 40 points, 17 assists, but 12 turnovers. And for Snohomish, Parks is going to be the guy if they need to win, right? 36, 13, 6, 3. 6 steals from Isaac Parks. He's not even a defensive player. I mean, he's good on defense, but he's not great. And Byron Fournette, he gets hurt. So they will not have him for the rest of the series here. Snohomish is going to actually, they picked up a win there. It's kind of shocking. Looking at Cardiff, they lost Guillen for the rest of the series, but from a roster standpoint, Milkkinen's one of the better 6th-man in the league. He'll kind of just fill in that role, so I don't think they're too worried about that. Taking a look here, Bosnia with a 2nd victory over Denver. This one a little bit closer. Hopkins has a bit of a better game, but it's Nando's 41, 13, and 7 that really carry them. And meanwhile, Ritter goes off for 42, in which must have been a hell of a game. Seattle leads by 3 over San Diego. Dante scoring 29 with 19 rebounds. Bo Ellis 25, 4-4 with 2 blocks, and Javier Baz with 17 and 11. Dante's a nightmare right now. Looking in the East here, Charlotte up by 3-0 against A. McGillen. Lim's out, and it does not matter. Ziegler and McGillen doing all they can. Adam McGillen having a good series, but just not good enough. Taking a look here, Montreal about to complete the sweep upset here. Not really fair when DJ Williams is out. I don't know. They really didn't have a shot. New York picks up a 2nd victory over Detroit. That's actually kind of surprising. But E.J. Peterson's going off, man. 33, 5, 8. And Jordan Rudolph had a bit of a bounce back here. Meanwhile, taking a look at the Nets here. They got 12 points from Clark. And Alexander was great. And Stanley Brown had a really solid game. And this is just a team effort. And the Nets are doing it. Cincy leads by 3 over Carolina. I don't see any way Carolina can come back from this. Even an injury won't save them now. All right. Boom. All right. We got our first couple eliminations. We also got a 2nd Snohomish win. Can Snohomish do this? That would be legendary. Craig at 35, 16, but with 8 turnovers. Meanwhile, Isaac Parks, 34, 11, 3, 3, 3. Oh, this is a nightmare for Tijuana. Meanwhile, Belgrade picks up their first victory of the series here, despite good play from Charles Adams. This is totally on me. I did not set Milkkinen as the starting point guard. Lovely. I just assumed, and that's what happens when you assume. You make an ass out of yourself. Yanni goes off with KGB. And with that, I'm just real quickly going to set Keegan. All right. Bosnia has somehow won 3 straight. What? Like, how? Or at least they've won 3 out of the 4. Light had a good game. And yeah. Bosnia really not even getting noteworthy plays here. Seattle, of course, knocking San Diego out. They escape injury-free. Oh. Yeah, I woke up at 6 a.m. today. Don't do that. Charlotte also beating Milwaukee here. No injuries other than a limb injury, but he'll be healthy for next series. And we had a really interesting game. He's going to hit free agency here, but an 18-6-6-4 performance from Supreme. And now we take a look here. Montreal also advancing in a 4-game victory. No surprise with DJ Williams out. JP Lane had a good game, and Madsen Higgins has proven to be not just a great passer, but also a great scorer. New York picks up their 3rd game. This was an overtime victory. EJ Peterson keeping them in the OT here. And EJ finishes with 27, 10, and 7. Nearly a triple doubling. Meanwhile, Rudolph picks up 5 blocks. And yeah, despite all that, despite those great plays, the Nets won. Yeah, just let that sink in. Depth matters. And Carolina wins their first game of the series. It's probably going to be a gentleman's sweep here. Carolina barely wins. They hang on, though. Meanwhile, yeah, it's just a really solid game from Jack James, and I guess efficient from Umberto, but he fouled out in 16 minutes. Oh, I'm no idea. Alright, so guys, with that, we will go to the next game. Alright, we got a couple interesting things here. First off, Tijuana picks up the victory. Cardiff does pick up the victory. We'll see if they have any injuries ahead of next round. I think Guillen will be back. Yeah, so Guillen will be back for the start of the next round. Bosnia somehow beats Denver. That makes no sense. Kevin does get hurt. Yeah, that's the end. Yeah, they didn't have a chance once Kevin went down. Seattle, of course, advancing already. Charlotte also advancing already. Montreal as well. Detroit stays alive. I don't know what's going on with Detroit. I really don't. Goran Clark, though, or not Goran Clark, Stanley Brown has been a monster in this series, and he is getting a nickname after this series. He just obliterated Detroit, and it's kind of shocking. Granted, they have a chance, and we'll see if Cincy escaped without injury here. Taking a look, Cincy looks healthy, so they'll advance to the next round here. All right. And with that, we'll do one more game, and then we'll do some live sims. All right. So we do have a game 7. It's in the Eastern Conference. That's going to be a doozy. We got Tijuana beating Snohomish. Let's be honest, Snohomish made this exciting, but did they ever really have a chance? Yeah. Sargul got hurt, and so did Slenderman. I don't know if those injuries really played a part. Why am I yawning? Ridiculous. Cincy advancing, we already knew that. And Detroit forces a game 7 here. The bad blood between these teams is prevalent. Guys, who do you got? Who do you got? Tell me in the comment section. Do you think that it's going to be Detroit, or do you think it's going to be a victory for New York? This is going to be a battle. So with that, we are underway. Oh, and just for the record, I'm totally rooting for New York to get payback. And New York leads. And New York is still leading after 2. After 3, it is a 3-point game. It is a 2-point game with 5 minutes left. Detroit has taken the lead. It is a 3-point game with 2 minutes left. Detroit in the lead by 3. With 1 minute, 30 seconds left. It is a 1-point game. Jordan Rudolph in the low post. It's good. And 1 at the line. And Jordan Rudolph misses. It is only a 3-point lead. Detroit, the offensive board, and a foul. Rudolph at the line again. This time he hits both. 5-point game. Stanley Brown for 3. Blocked. E.J. Peterson. Oh, no, they're falling apart here. At least Woodson missed here. New York gets the defensive rebound. Alexander, the low post, he misses. And, they just got dunked on. It is just, they're falling apart. Mark Alexander missing a back-to-back threes to keep them alive. And Detroit hangs on and wins. Yeah. E.J. Peterson and Jordan Rudolph. Jordan Rudolph really came up big in those last few seconds, you know? All right, so with that, we got Tijuana, Cardiff, Seattle, and Bosnia. And we got Charlotte, Montreal, Cincinnati, and Detroit. A lot of these teams were ones that we expected to be here. So with that, guys, who do you got? I have Tijuana beating Cardiff, Seattle beating Bosnia. I have Charlotte beating Montreal, and I have Detroit upsetting Cincy. Let's do this. Game 1. All right, so Tijuana does beat Cardiff in convincing fashion, of course. But we have an injury. Zach gets hurt, and maybe Cardiff has a chance. That's kind of nuts. Seattle here, 105-92, and an injury to Hurley, but it's very minor. And Dante Robinson proving that he is the star. Looking at Charlotte here, it is a pretty sizable win. I don't think there's any way Charlotte loses this series. Charlotte's big three is just so good. And Detroit does pick up an upset. That's pretty nuts. With a 36-point game from E.J. Peterson. And Lendon Holton was the best player for Cincy. And when your best player is Lendon Holton, there's something wrong. All right. So here we go with one more game. All right. So we got an upset here. Cardiff picks up the victory. Granted, Maskell gets hurt. We'll take a look and see if there's any other injuries. Nope, Zach just out for the series. Guillen with the 29-8-7. And Tijuana led by Craig, 41-7. Craig is just an absolute beast. He might win MVP on 2 different teams. Seattle beats Bosnia again. That's no shocker. Yeah. Charlotte beats Montreal, and Cincinnati beats Detroit. Specifically, Detroit beats Cincinnati, my bad. And E.J. Peterson just proving he is the man. Jermaine Hawkins also at age like 36 or something, playing well. And since he's now in a hole. Yeah. So, what do you guys think so far? All right. With that, we'll go one more game. Cardiff picks up another victory here. Tijuana might be... Oh, wow. Craig played awful. 18-6? That's probably the worst game he's had in years. Tijuana as a whole only put up 78 points and got absolutely blown out. Yeah. In fact, Cardiff wasn't even playing their starters for half the game. That's kind of ridiculous. Seattle 3-0 here. In overtime. Seattle in OT. Double OT. That's kind of crazy. Bosnia hangs in there for double OT and then loses. 20 points from 4 or 5 starters. That's what it does. So. Dude. Look at this. Dante Robinson. 53 minutes. That might be a league record. Actually, I'm going to take a look at Bosnia because they also might have had a guy get pretty high up. Now, they only had a couple of guys in the 40s. But keep in mind, Seattle's a thin team. Like, very thin. They have like an 8-player rotation or something like that. So, yeah. Charlotte beats Montreal. At this point, I think this series is in the books. I don't think there's any way even an injury could get them to come back here. Yeah. disappointing way to end the season for Montreal. And Cincinnati stays alive in their series. They really needed this, in my opinion, or they could have been really, really in the hole there. And E.J. Peterson goes 4 for 20. What you doing, man? And with that, we will go one more game. I'm just going to check real quick for lineup changes. No lineup changes. All right. Game. All right. So, you can't make this up. The best player on Cardiff gets hurt as they have a 3-1 lead. So right now, both teams have no big men. Both teams are missing their big men. Yeah. We'll see how that goes. Keegan Milkinen is feasting, though, with 28 points. And looking here, Bosnia picks up the victory. That load management issue we were talking about in the comments section, people were being like, they don't have any load management. Yeah, they didn't have any load management at all. And yeah, maybe that's what cost them here. No, I'm just kidding. I don't think that carries over yet. One day, Charlotte sweeps Montreal. Yeah, there was no question with Harden out. Yeah. And Detroit beats Cincinnati, then this series probably is over. I don't know if they can come back. Though I do want to note, Cincinnati had 7 players, including 4 bench guys, hit double figures. Because Lyndon Holton's also out. Yeah, this series is over. Jordan Rudolph with a 15, 10, and 6 game. And EJ played solid enough. EJ's kind of struggled in this series. All right, guys. Game 5. First elimination. Seattle knocks out Bosnia. They won by 3. This series was harder than I imagined for Seattle. But Seattle held on. And they come out with a 5-game win here. Dante just 20 points. Baz with 17 and 14. And in this game, it was kind of the depth that played a bit of a role, which is kind of crazy for a team so thin. And Cincinnati picks up the victory here, winning by 6. 36 points from EJ, but not enough. DD playing insane defense this series. So, yeah. With that, we have potential. I'm seeing what Charles Adams' injury is. He's out 2 more games here. Yeah. So, I'm just going to casually put in a small lineup change. All right. And there we go. We'll see how that goes. All right. I think we got 2 series left. All right, no game 7s. Tijuana, a 74-win team, loses to Cardiff, mostly due to the Zach injury. This was a close game. 3 points here. Wally Craig, 35 and 10, 2 steals. Yeah, nothing else notable on their team other than the Zach injury, which really derailed an insane season. Guillen, 39.55, pretty crazy. And I started Banks. He had 5 blocks, so I guess he did his job. But I need to adjust that because that was exclusively because they were missing. Oh, and worth noting, Cardiff will not have their best player in the first game of their series against Seattle. So there is a little bit of strangeness there. Detroit beats Cincinnati, which, I like Detroit. I'm rooting for them here. Yeah. It comes down to E.J. Peterson, 31 points. All right. Checking for lineup changes. Also, I just want to know, our turnout for this was absolutely ridiculous. How many people are watching this live stream? It is pretty high for our normal. Yeah. Dude, I cannot find the lineups for some reason right now. Why is that? Oh, there we go. No lineup changes. That's why. All right. Game 1. Both the favorites pick up the win, but Charles Adams is back for the next game here. 3-point victory, Seattle winning. Charles Adams out, of course. And we saw 24-23, Milkinen and Guillen both having big games. Meanwhile, for Seattle, Dante. Yep, it was Dante and some good play from Boz. Bo Ellis is like the Chris Bosh of that team. Like, he is not the star. Charlotte wins by 2 over Detroit. And no real notable things occurred. 32 points from Gordon Hayward. But this was a fairly mundane game, despite being close. And Adams is back. We'll see if that affects the series. And Adams gets hurt again. Yeah. All right, we'll take a look at Detroit's upset first here. Detroit wins by 2. E.J. Peterson got hurt 4 minutes into the game. And you know who stepped up? Grayson Allen, of all people. And, yeah, they got the victory over Gordon Hayward's 43 points. Taking a look here, we'll go see what happened in Cardiff. And Charles Adams gets hurt again. He actually had a huge impact. He had 18, 12, 5, and 3. Yeah, Guillen with 20, 10, and 4. And, yeah, so Bo Ellis still kind of just doing his thing. Boz had a 21 and 17 game with 5 steals. And we'll go one more game here. All right, so Charles Adams will be back again, and Detroit picks up another victory. This has become a series. It's kind of crazy. And E.J. Peterson with 29 and 14 here. We'll look at the playoffs here. Seattle's Big 3 wins by 2 points over the Charles Adamless Cardiff team. At this point, do they even have Charles Adams? 39 and 9 for Guillen. Banks with a 2-13-5-3 stat line. Seattle gets 41 points from Dante Robinson. Yeah, it's Dante time. And Hakeem actually puts up 22 points. So, yeah. With that, guys, we will go. We have a lineup request from Charlotte. I can go to your team, so you will. There we go. I think Charlotte's going to make a lineup change. Let me know. Change or no change? Cooper 6-man. Yeah, I agree with that. That's a good move. All right. I'm just going to double check, make sure that's it. Yeah, it looks like that's it. All right. Game 4. So, we got a couple interesting things here. That lineup change may have saved Charlotte. They pick up the victory here. And Charlotte's Big 3 all have really solid games, including an 11-block game. That's like in the all-time top 20 block games. It's kind of crazy. E.J. Peterson, though, with 39 points, and that does it for Detroit, though, as they pick up the loss thanks to some great defense. Cardiff also picks up a victory. Maybe this is a gentleman's sweep. We don't know yet. Yeah, a good play, but not great play from the Big 3. And Guillen does a 14-7-7 impression. Charles Adams with an 18, 10, and 2, and 1. I really think when Charles Adams plays, Cardiff is better, but he's so injury prone all of a sudden. All right, guys, here we go. All right, so the first elimination in this round, it's my team. Seattle knocks out Cardiff. No surprise there, really. Seattle's Big 3 is insanely good, but Donovan Perkins does get downed. That causes 45 minutes from Baz. Yeah, they also lost O.J. Mayo, so he's literally their only guard on their roster. LaMelo Ball had to play. Bo Ellis also fouled out. These are the players they had. They had literally 6 players available to play. No, 7. No. In their normal lineup, 6. So they're forced to play a 7th in Ball. Yeah. All right. And Detroit picks up the victory against Charlotte here in decent fashion. E.J. Peterson goes off for 36-12, though he does have 8 turnovers. And Phoenix Lim suffers a sizable injury. And with that, I don't think Charlotte can come back. I'm going to check for lineups real quick. Give it a second because there's a 15-second delay. Yeah, I can do live sim. We'll do live sim. Charlotte is objectively the better team, but they are blowing this series. They're up over Detroit now, but Detroit roars back with an absolutely insane quarter. They went up 16 in that quarter. Oh, wow. And Charlotte roars back. And with 6 minutes left in the game, it's double digits. 3 minutes left, and Detroit is starting to claw their way back, but I don't know if they have enough time. Yeah, they don't. And it is a Game 7. We have a Game 7 on our hands. All right. Game 7. Charlotte leads by double digits after 1. After 2, it's a 5-point game. After 3, it is an 8-point game. 6 minutes left, and it is a 7-point game. 3 minutes left, and it is a 8-point game. 1 minute left, and it is a 9-point game. E.J. Peterson turns the ball over. Cooper McKinney for 3, no good. E.J. low post, foul. He's at the line, but he only hits 1. It is an 8-point game. Gordon Hayward for 3. It's good. That's game. That's double digits. Yeah. And with that, Charlotte advances to play Seattle in the finals. Big 3 versus Big 3. Are you guys ready? Big 3 versus Big 3. Who you got, Seattle or Charlotte? I think everyone's just glad it's not Tijuana here. Charlotte is dominating Seattle in the first quarter. In the second quarter, it leaned Seattle. In the third quarter, Charlotte comes back, and we have an injury of unknown origin. Like, we don't know how bad it is, to Bo Ellis. Injuries have played a big part in Seattle's playoffs so far. Yeah. And Charlotte has pulled away double digits with 5 minutes left. 3 minutes is a 6-point game. 1 minute and 38 seconds left and is a 10-point game. 30 seconds left and this game probably is over. They have a small chance, but Donovan Perkins for 3, yeah, that's... they score 5 points, 14 seconds left. Seems unlikely. Yeah, Hayward hits 2. Yeah, that's game. Disappointing end. Boz does hit a game-ending shot, and they only go down. Now, everyone wants to know Bo Ellis' injury. Bo Ellis will miss 3 games. That might be it. I don't know if Seattle has a chance now. Do you guys ask in the comments? Do you guys think they have a chance? Yeah, there's almost no point in simming at this point. Like, Dante got hurt too. Yeah, it's just blowouts. This is utterly tragic. Hey, low-scoring quarter. That's a tied game at halftime. Seattle then gets... Yeah, they just fall behind. Then they're down 20 points. There's almost no reason to live sim the game other than the confetti here. I guess Dante's back, so maybe they have a chance. But yeah. We'll see. Seattle kind of ahead right now. Seattle's ahead. Tie game midway through the third quarter, and Charlotte has the lead in the fourth. And Seattle takes the lead back. And they've held it with 2 minutes left. Charlotte just stole the ball, mid-range shot, and we go to OT on a just very strange situation here. But we are in overtime. Kind of crazy. We'll sim 1 minute. It is a 1 point game. We'll sim 1 minute. It is a 1 point game again. 1 minute. And Charlotte leads by 4. Charlotte gets blocked by Perkins. Eddie Lawrence, the offensive board. McKinney, and 1. It's going to make this 7 point game. Yeah. Dante misses. Hakeem to Baz misses. Hakeem to Serenic. Hey, he hit that one. 5 point game. McKinney mid-range misses. Hakeem the rebound. Boz at the rim. Foul. Boz hits 1. He hits 2. 3 point game. 36 left. Gordon Hayward for 3. It's good. That's probably game. 6 point game. Boz for 3. It's good. 3 point game. Gordon Hayward turns it over. Foul on Patton. Serenic at the line. And he misses 1. And he hits the other one. And that is game. Charlotte Bobcats have won the title. Yeah. Little anticlimactic as they sweep an injured team. But with that, guys, we're going to go into the draft. We'll see season summary here. Keep in mind, we have to vote on the awards, but Craig, Baz, Zach is not going to win MVP as a rookie. I doubt that. Because, frankly, he's not even going to win Rookie of the Year. So, yeah. Will Bryant probably isn't even going to be in the MVP. Yeah, I don't see Zach being in the MVP race. I don't see Will Bryant. Maybe Will Bryant. Maybe. It's going to be Craig, Baz for sure. Parks. Cincy, maybe? Maybe Gian. He was traded mid-season, but Craig is probably the favorite there. Rookie of the Year is Landon, no question, which is why we won't see Zach even touch it. Meanwhile, Scarn retires. We have to adjust the Hall of Fame because a lot of these guys are just not going to make it because we have a very high Hall of Fame status, though LeBron's probably the most likely of that bunch. And guys, for Defensive Player of the Year, Irfan and Hopkins have battled it out for a very long time, and I imagine it will be between them. I think we've never had a slam dunk for Rookie of the Year like this, but Landon had a phenomenal year. So with that, we will do the draft lottery. I'm going to have to zoom out a little bit for this. I think like this. I think we're basically good. I need to zoom out a little bit more. So, we have no jumper so far. It goes Vegas, Kentucky, Buenos Aires, Vegas, Cincinnati, Washington, Montreal. Yep, Mexico. I missed Tokyo in there. So far, no high jumps. I feel like we might get a perfect lottery for the first time in forever. Actually, I think this is the first time in ABA history. Oh my God, no! The perfect lottery! Wait. Did Tampa Bay not get a first round pick? Or does it just not show up? I think they must have gone 8th. Yeah, they got 8th. So, Flint gets 1. 2 is Cleveland. 3 is Cleveland. 4 is New Jersey. 5 is Dallas. 6 is New Jersey. 7 is Vegas. 8 is Tampa Bay. 9 is Washington. 10 is Boston. New Jersey also owns 11. New Jersey has 3 picks in the top 11, and Cleveland has 2 picks in the top 3. And the thing is, this draft, it's pretty You got LaMarcus Aldridge, Scottie Pippen. I don't know who I'd pick number 1. I want to say I'd pick Pippen number 1. I'd pick Pippen myself if I had number 1. I don't know if I'd go with Niemeyer in the top 5 even. I'm not a fan of his build. Yeah. I want to see how high Wes White Jr. goes and Terrence Clark. Rest in peace. I have to adjust Iguodala. I guess I'll just do that now because his... Okay, no, somebody already adjusted him. Cool. Yeah, his build was not reflective of his actual play. So, yeah. Anyway, with that, guys, we will export this file, and you guys can trade again.